Yeah, in the previous class, we have discussed about the factors influencing ionization enthalpy. Okay, so what are the factors we discussed in the previous class? The important factors affecting the ionization enthalpy are what? Factors affecting ionization enthalpy. This is also called ionization potential. So, what are the factors we wrote yesterday? So, first one is atomic radius or atomic size. Atomic size or radius. Atomic size or radius, right? And next one, second one, what? Factors affecting influence ionization enthalpy. Influencing ionization enthalpy, what? Electronic configuration. Electronic configuration. Electronic configuration, stable electronic configuration. If a stable electronic configuration is there for the atom, its ionization enthalpy will be greater. Okay, and next factor is what? Next another important factor is what? Penetration power. Penetration power. So penetration power of orbitals. S orbitals are more penetrated than p orbitals. P orbitals are more penetrated than d orbitals, and d greater than f orbitals. Means it is difficult to remove electrons from s orbitals in the given orbit, in the given shell. It is difficult to remove electrons from the given s subshell than p subshell. So that is penetration power. So more the penetration power, more ionization enthalpy. If size is more, atomic size is greater, ionization enthalpy is lesser. Atomic size and ionization enthalpy both are inversely proportional. And another important factor what we have discussed, effective nuclear charge. Effective nuclear charge. If the effective nuclear charge is greater, its ionization enthalpy will be greater. Effective nuclear charge and ionization enthalpy both are directly proportional to each other. Now, another important factor is that screening effect. What is that, ma? Screening effect. So, ionization enthalpy and screening effect. If screening effect is more, okay, suppose here we have to understand first one concept of screening effect. First, up to this, is it clear now? So, next one we are discussing screening effect. Screening is also called shielding. Shielding effect or screening effect. So screening or shielding effect. Both same. Screening effect we can say, otherwise shielding effect we can say. So in this case now here, shielding effect means that suppose you take the nucleus of an atom. Nucleus of an atom. First orbit, second orbit, and third orbit. Second orbit and third orbit. Suppose the three orbits we are taking here. Now here, in first orbit, 2 electrons are there. In second orbit, 8 electrons there. In third orbit, 1 electron is there. In outermost orbit, how many electrons are there? 1 electron is there. Between this outermost electron and the nucleus, between the outermost electron and the nucleus, how many electrons inner there? 10 plus means 2 plus 8. 10 electrons there. So 10 electrons, inner electrons here. What are they called here? 10 inner electrons. 10 inner electrons. 10 inner electrons between what and what? Between outermost electron and the nucleus. Is that clear? If the number of inner electrons is greater, the shielding effect will be greater. Means these inner electrons will decrease the attraction of nucleus. If more inner electrons are there, what happens? Less attraction of this nucleus on the outermost electron. If outermost electron is attracted weakly by this nucleus, then what happens? Size will be greater. If screening effect is greater due to more inner electrons, what happens now here? The outermost electron is very weakly attracted by the nucleus. When outermost electron is weakly attracted by the nucleus, what happens now here? The size will be more. So more screening effect, more size. More screening effect, more will be size. Is that clear, ma? So here inner electrons, how many is that? 10 there. Due to more number of inner electrons, what happens now? The attraction of nucleus on the outermost electron will be less due to the 10 inner electrons. This effect is called what? No, screening effect. Otherwise, shielding effect. Shielding means protecting effect. This outermost electron is protected from the nuclear attraction due to these inner electrons. Due to these inner electrons, the outermost electron is protected by, shielded by the nucleus. So when more inner electrons are there, the less attraction on this electron. Then this electron can be easily removed. This electron can be easily removed if more number of inner electrons are there. Is that clear? So first point what we have to understand here in the case of what here? In the case of this one, in the case of screening, first point what we have to understand, more the number of inner electrons, more the number of inner electrons. If inner electrons number is greater, suppose, then what happens now here? More shielding effect. More shielding effect or more screening effect. If more number of inner electrons are there between the outermost electron and nucleus, then what will be more? The shielding effect will be greater. Shielding effect will be greater. When shielding effect is more, what happens now? The nuclear attraction will be less on the outermost electron. And what happens here? Nuclear attraction. Nuclear attraction is less on which electron? On the outermost electron. On the outermost electron, what will be less now? Nuclear attraction is less. Nuclear attraction will be less. What will be less now here? The nuclear attraction. The nuclear attraction will be lesser. So nuclear attraction will be less on what? On the outermost electron. On the outermost electron, the attraction force of the nucleus will be less. When attraction of nucleus is less, what happens now? The size will be greater. Atomic size is greater. Atomic size becomes what? Larger. Atomic size becomes larger. Whenever atomic size is larger, ionization enthalpy will be lesser. So less ionization enthalpy. So ionization enthalpy will be less if atomic size is large. Why atomic size is large here? Due to less attraction of nucleus. Due to lesser attraction of nucleus on the outermost electron. Why attraction of nucleus is less on the outermost electron here? Due to more shielding effect. Due to more screening effect. Why screening effect is greater? Because of more number of inner electrons. If the number of inner electrons is greater between valence shell electron and nucleus, more shielding effect will be there and more size will be there. So how atomic size and screening effect related? Atomic size or atomic radius is directly proportional to screening effect. Is a clear one? But these are inversely proportional to what? Ionization enthalpy. Means ionization enthalpy and screening effect inversely proportional. Screening effect and ionization enthalpy inversely proportional. Okay? And atomic size and screening effect directly proportional. And atomic size and ionization enthalpy inversely proportional to each other. Is that clear? So this concept is very important to understand. Let's take the screenshot of this one. Okay. So next now, suppose I'm taking here any two electrons. Suppose I'm taking sodium and potassium. We know that sodium has got now first orbit, second orbit, and third orbit. Now 2 electrons in first orbit, 8 electrons in second orbit, 1 electron in outermost orbit. Now here potassium has got nucleus with 1, 2, 3, 4. Totally 4 orbits are there in potassium. How many orbits are there? 4 orbits. Now here how many electrons in potassium? Generally 19 electrons. Now here sodium has got now 11 electrons. Sodium has 11 electrons, potassium has 19 electrons. Now here, what will be electrons here? 2, 8, 8 means 18. 18 plus 1 electron. So one outermost electron here also, one outermost electron. In sodium, one outermost electron is there, and in what here? Potassium also one outermost electron. Number of outermost electrons, how many? One only. In both cases, number of outermost electrons same. But what is different here? What is different? Number of inner electrons. Here, how many inner electrons there? 10 inner electrons. Where the 10 inner electrons here? 2 plus 8 now. 2 plus 8, how many there? 10 inner electrons there. But in this case now, in this case, how many inner electrons there? Tell me. 2 plus 8 plus 8. 18 electrons there. So 18 inner electrons there. 18 inner electrons between what? Between the outermost electron. Between the outermost electron and nucleus. Between the nucleus and outermost electron. How many inner electrons there here? 18. Here between outermost electron and nucleus. How many electrons are there here? 10 electrons in there. Here more inner electrons there now. More inner electrons, more screening effect. More screening effect. More screening effect, more size. So what we have mentioned here? More inner electrons, more inner electrons. Then what? More will be size or larger is size. Larger atomic size. If atomic size is larger, what happens now here? Ionization enthalpy will be lesser. So lesser ionization enthalpy. Lesser ionization enthalpy. So when ionization enthalpy is considered here, what we have to take now? Size. Size will be larger in this case, and here ionization enthalpy will be lesser. Like that, ionization enthalpy of potassium is lesser than ionization enthalpy of sodium. Enthalpy of sodium. Like this, what we have to understand from top to bottom in a group. Which group we have taken? Group 1. What is this? Group 1, first year group here. What is one? First year group elements here. So in case of first year group here, sodium to cesium, from top to bottom, what happens now here? The size will be increasing. When size increases, what happens to ionization enthalpy? Decreases. So in a group from top to bottom, ionization energy continuously decreases. Ionization energy continuously decreases in a group from top to bottom. There is an exceptional case here. From top to bottom, ionization enthalpy always decreases in a group because of increase in atomic radius or atomic size. Let's take the screenshot of this one. So screening effect or shielding effect also is one of the important factors that influences what? This ionization enthalpy. And one more is one effective nuclear charge. I told now, ionization enthalpy is directly proportional to what? Effective nuclear charge. Effective nuclear charge. Okay. So effective nuclear charge and ionization enthalpy both are directly proportional. Okay. So this effective nuclear charge is given by Z star. What is Z star? Z star indicates what? Effective nuclear charge. This Z star is equal to Z atomic number minus sigma. So this Z indicates what now here? Atomic number. And the sigma is called here screening constant. Which constant it is? Screening constant. Sigma is called screening constant and Z is what? Atomic number. If you know the screening constant value, the atomic number value of the element minus the screening constant will give what now? Effective nuclear charge. So more the effective nuclear charge, more will be ionization enthalpy. So this the calculation of sigma, calculation of the screening constant we'll discuss in another class. For time being, remember that Z star, that is effective nuclear charge, is equal to atomic number of the atom, of the element minus sigma. Sigma is called what here? Screening constant or shielding constant. And what is Z here? Z is atomic. Z is atomic number of the element. Is that clear? So like that, more the effective nuclear charge, greater will be ionization enthalpy. Is the concept clear? So it's about what on here, the screening effect, which influences what? Which influences ionization enthalpy. Okay. Yeah. So now here, effective nuclear charge and ionization enthalpy both are directly proportional to each. So this point we have to understand clearly. Is that clear, ma'am? So it's about what now here, the factors influencing ionization enthalpy. Okay. Next. So next important concept is that electron affinity. Electron affinity. Electron affinity. So how electron affinity changes in a period and group. EA. EA means what? Electron affinity. This one is also called electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. Both are same. So with this one, written like this. Delta EGH means electron gain enthalpy. Enthalpy change means what? Delta H. EG indicates electron gain enthalpy. That means here, if you take any atom, suppose first orbit, second orbit, and third orbit. Okay, so 2 electrons, 8 electrons, and 7 electrons. How many valence electrons here? 7 valence electrons. How many valence electrons? 7 valence electrons. So this atom is what now? Chlorine. 2, 8, 7. So 2 plus 8, 10. 10 plus 7, 17. Atomic number 17 for Cl. So Cl atom, chlorine atom. Now, how many valence electrons are available here? Already 7 valence electrons are there. If you add one more electron, by adding electron here, adding one electron to this chlorine atom, what happens now when we add electron to the gaseous neutral atom? The Cl is taken what now here? Neutral atom and gaseous atom. To the gaseous neutral atom, if one electron is added to the outermost orbit, suppose, then some amount of energy will be released here. This energy is called what now here? Electron gain enthalpy. As energy is released here, it is taken negative value. It may be some minus x kilojoule or minus x kilocalories, minus x hertz we can take. So delta H is what here? Negative value always. Some negative value will be there, minus 10 calories, minus 20 calories, whatever it is. So like this, electron gain enthalpy is always negative because energy is released here. Energy is released. Why energy is released here? If electron is added to the outermost orbit of a gaseous neutral atom, what happens? Some amount of energy is released here. That energy released is called electron gain enthalpy. Means due to gain of electrons, due to gain of one electron, some amount of energy released is here. That is called electron gain enthalpy. And electron affinity. Affinity means what? Love towards electron. Electron affinity means what? Attraction towards electron. This chlorine atom has more love towards what? Electron. Towards gaining one electron. That's why electron affinity of this chlorine atom is greater, because it is ready to accept one electron, ready to gain one electron, to release some amount of energy which is negative. Delta H is negative here. Electron gain enthalpy is negative because energy is what more released. Is that clear? Let's take the screenshot of this. Now, if you take what now generally in a group, from top to bottom, what happens here in a group from top to bottom? Atomic size increases, right? This upward arrow indicates increases. So atomic size increases. When atomic size increases, what happens now? Ionization enthalpy decreases. Electron affinity decreases. En means electronegativity also decreases. Electronegativity, electron affinity, ionization enthalpy. These three values will decrease when atomic size increases from top to bottom. Okay. Next, in a period, generally what happens? In a period, what happens? In a period, from left to right. From left to right, what happens now? atomic size decreases. Atomic size decreases. When atomic size decreases, generally what happens now? Ionization enthalpy, electron affinity, and electronegativity. These all values will decrease or increase. They will increase. Ionization enthalpy, electron affinity, electronegativity values will increase in a period from left to right. Okay, as atomic size decreases. So this area we have to understand. Okay. Next, some important areas what we have understand is that suppose group 17 it is. Group 17 means 7th A group. 7th A. Whole notation is what now? 7th A. Group 17. They are what? Halogens. What are they? Halogens. What are the halogens? We know fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Here acetylene is there. Acetylene is there, but radioactive element. Radioactive element. So we don't take this acetylene, AT. So fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine we take generally. Now generally we know that size will be increasing here. Size will be increasing from top to bottom. Size increases, okay. Generally when size is less for fluorine than Cl, if fluorine is having smaller size, electron affinity should be generally what? No, greater. Size is less, electron affinity should be greater generally. So we know that electron affinity is inversely proportional to what now? Atomic size, na? Atomic size. If you take this concept now, what we have to understand here, when you take a group from top to bottom here, fluorine to fluorine, size increasing. When size increases, electron affinity should be decreasing generally. But here, in between these two, what we have to understand is that in case of fluorine, how many electrons? What is electronic configuration? 2, 8 or 2, 7? 2, 7. So 7 valence electrons are there. So how many valence electrons here? 7. 7 valence electrons in second orbit. In which orbit? In second orbit. How many valence electrons are there? 7 electrons there. Now 2 electrons in first orbit, 7 electrons in second orbit. Now in case of Cl now 2, 8, 7. Now 7 valence electrons. 7 valence electrons. The 7 valence electrons are present in what now? 7 valence electrons are present in third orbit. Third orbit. Now third orbit is larger. Third orbit is generally larger orbit than what? Second orbit. Than second orbit, which is larger, third orbit will be larger. So it is size of second orbit, it is size of third orbit. In this small second orbit, small sized second orbit, how many valence electrons? 7. 7 valence electrons there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 electrons there. Now 7 electrons in this small sized second orbit. But here also 7 valence electrons only. Here also how many valence electrons? 7 only. Number of valence electrons same. Here in the case of Cl, the 7 electrons are freely accommodated in large sized this one, third orbit. 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you see in third orbit, in large size orbit, between the electron distance is greater. But in second orbit, between electron, the distance is less. Now guess and tell me, in which case the electron repulsion will be greater. In second orbit, electron will repel to greater extent, or in third orbit, electron will repel to each other. In second orbit, as electrons are close to each other, this negatively negatively charged. These two electrons will repel to greater extent. When the electrons repel each other, one more electron cannot be gained. One more electron cannot be gained easily, because already existing 7 electrons only repelling each other in the small size second orbit. But in case of Cl, the large sized third orbit, the 7 electrons are freely accommodated. Between electron distance is greater. That's why inter-electronic repulsion is lesser here. In Cl atom, inter-electronic repulsion. Inter means between. Between electron repulsions will be lesser here. When electron repulsion is lesser in this case, what happens now here? Easily electron will be gained by Cl atom. By chlorine atom, electron can be gained easily. So electron affinity will be greater for Cl. So what we are understanding now here? Electron affinity of Cl is greater than what? Electron affinity of fluorine. Here we should not take size. We should not take size here. Electron affinity of Cl is greater than electron affinity of fluorine. The reason what now here? Due to very small size of fluorine, and due to greater interelectronic repulsions. Due to very small size of fluorine and greater interelectronic repulsions in fluorine. So the reason what we have to understand here, or tell me here, the reason is what? The important reason is what here? First thing is what? Due to very small size. Due to very small size. Very small size of which atom? Small size of fluorine atom. Due to very small size of fluorine atom. Now, due to very small size of fluorine atom, what happened now? Due to greater, due to what? Greater inter-electronic repulsions. Due to greater inter-electronic repulsions. Due to greater interelectronic repulsions. Now, when electronic repulsions are greater, what happens now here? When repulsions are greater, what happens? The electron, one more electron cannot be gained easily. One more electron cannot be gained easily. That's why electron affinity of fluorine is lesser than electron affinity of Cl. These two reasons we have to understand. Is that clear? Just note down now. Just take screenshot first, then you can write later. Now here what we have to understand is that electron affinity order we have to understand. Electron affinity order. So order of electron affinity. Okay. Now here which one is highest? Cl. Cl greater than fluorine. Fluorine greater than bromine. Bromine greater than iodine. It is what now here? Electron affinity order. The order of what? Electron affinity. Order of electron affinity. Cl greater than what? Fluorine. Fluorine greater than bromine. Bromine greater than iodine. Here sizes if we take which is largest? Iodine largest, then bromine. After that, Cl more larger. Smallest is what? Fluorine. If though size of Cl is greater, the Cl only will have what? More electron affinity. The reason what I said here, due to very small size of the fluorine atom and due to greater inter-electronic repulsions. Inter-electronic repulsions. Because of these reasons, your fluorine has lesser electron affinity. Again, if you compare the fluorine and bromine, suppose between fluorine and bromine, we should take only size now. Between fluorine and bromine, size we should take now. The size of fluorine is lesser than bromine, na? That's why electron affinity will be greater for fluorine than what? Bromine. So this case we have to understand. Okay, take the screenshot of this one. Yeah, next, group 16. Group 16. Group 16, Roman number 68. Roman number 68. So Roman number 68 indicates what now? Chalcogens. What are these elements called? Chalcogens. Chalcogens means what here? Group 16 elements. They are ore forming elements. What are they? Ore forming elements. Ore forming elements. Ore meaning what here? Ore means what here? Important mineral. Important mineral of element. The important mineral of the element is called what? Ore. Okay. So ore forming elements means these elements will form what? Ores. Ores means what? Important minerals. Okay. Now group 16 elements, what are they? Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. Okay. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. Okay. In this case, any of polonium radioactive limit. So oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium. Right now, sizes tell me which will be least size here. Oxygen small size, sulfur more size, selenium still larger, tellurium larger. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium. Now, when size is less, electron affinity should be generally greater, na? But in this case, now order is what? Now, order of electron affinity. Order of electron affinity. Electron affinity means what? EA. Order of electron affinity. So this order of electron affinity of these group elements, we have to understand very important concept. Now here, generally oxygen, sulfur, which is having more electron affinity. The sulfur only will have more electron affinity than oxygen. So sulfur greater than oxygen generally. But here we have to understand that least is oxygen in this case. Least observed is what? Oxygen. So now sulfur greater than selenium. Selenium greater than tellurium. Tellurium greater than oxygen. So which is least electron affinity element in the 16th group elements? Oxygen. Oxygen is least electron affinity element. Means it has least electron affinity. Again, why it is least here? Due to very small size and greater interelectronic repulsions. In oxygen again, what is to be understood here? Very small size and greater interelectronic repulsions. The same reason for fluorine. Whatever we have written for fluorine, the same reason we have to understand. Due to very small size of oxygen atom and due to greater interelectronic repulsions of oxygen. So these are important areas to be understood. Is the concept clear? So it's about what now? Variation of electron affinity in the group and periods. Okay, and electron affinity of inert gases will be 0. Electron affinity of inert gases. Inert gases, what are they? Inert gases. Inert gases are what? Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. Okay, these are what inert gases. So for these inert gases, the electron affinity will be 0. Electron affinity of inert gases will be 0. 0. That means what? They cannot gain electrons. Their affinity for electron will be 0. Means their love towards electron to gain is what? 0. That's why they don't gain electrons. So their inert gases electron will be 0 taken. Is that clear? So it's about important concept of what? Electron affinity. Is that clear? Okay, I could take the screenshot once. Next we'll discuss electronegativity.